Two men stood in the same storm. The rain was violent. The wind tore through the streets like something alive. Thunder cracked the sky open as if the world itself was breaking. The first man cursed the heavens. "This is unfair," he shouted. "Why me?" He trembled, soaked, defeated before the storm even touched him. The second man said nothing. He adjusted his posture, slowed his breathing, and walked forward step by step through the chaos. Same storm, different mind, different fate. Pause for a second, because this is where most people get it wrong. You don't suffer because life is hard. You suffer because your mind is weak in the face of it. And by the end of this video, that version of you, the one that reacts, that breaks, that loses control, will not exist anymore. But only if you stay, because each layer we're about to uncover is not just knowledge. It's a weapon. The first Stoic rule is simple, but almost nobody lives by it. You must understand what is truly in your control. Not people, not outcomes, not luck, not timing. Only one thing belongs to you, your response. Everything else, illusion. Yet most people spend their entire lives trying to control the uncontrollable. They try to change people, force outcomes, predict chaos. And when it fails, they break. But the Stoic does something different. He withdraws his energy from everything external and invests it fully into himself. Think about that. If someone insults you, you feel pain. But why? Because you gave their words power. If something doesn't go your way, you feel frustration. But why? Because you expected life to obey you. This is the trap. And the moment you see it clearly, you begin to detach. Not emotionally dead, but emotionally disciplined. This is not weakness. This is control. Right now, most people are like leaves in the wind, moved by every opinion, every setback, every emotion. But you're about to become something else, a force that does not bend. Listen carefully, because the next principle will feel uncomfortable, and that's exactly why it will change you. But before we go deeper, understand this. If you leave halfway, you'll remain exactly where you are. Reactive, emotional, predictable. So stay until the end, because what's coming next will challenge how you see pain itself. And once you understand it, nothing will shake you again. Pain is not your enemy. That is the lie you've been taught your entire life. Avoid pain, escape discomfort, run from anything that feels difficult. And look at what that has created. A generation that collapses under pressure. But the Stoic sees something else entirely. Pain is information. It reveals where you are weak. It exposes where you are attached. It shows you exactly where you need to grow. So when life hits you, and it will, the question is no longer, why is this happening to me? The question becomes, what is this trying to teach me? There's a difference. One question makes you a victim. The other makes you dangerous. Think about the last time something broke you. A rejection, a failure, a betrayal. You felt it, didn't you? That tightening in your chest, that anger, that helplessness. Most people stop there. They drown in it. They replay it. They let it define them. But the Stoic studies it. He steps back and observes himself like a scientist. Why did that hurt me? What expectation was violated? What weakness was exposed? And in that moment, something shifts. Because now the pain is no longer controlling him. He is using it. This is the second rule. Turn every wound into awareness. Because awareness leads to control, and control leads to power. Understand this clearly. You cannot become emotionally armored if you are constantly trying to feel comfortable. Comfort is the addiction that keeps you fragile. Every time you choose ease over discipline, you reinforce weakness. Every time you avoid discomfort, you train your mind to escape. And when real pressure comes, you break. But if you do the opposite, if you lean into controlled discomfort, cold mornings, hard decisions, silence instead of reaction, you begin to build something most people will never have. Inner resistance. A mind that doesn't panic. A mind that doesn't rush. a mind that doesn't beg for relief. This is how emotional strength is forged. Not in peace, but in pressure. And here's the truth most people won't accept. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger, or you stay weak. There is no third option. So the next time life puts you in a storm, don't ask for it to stop. Stand in it, feel it, study it, because that storm is shaping you into someone unrecognizable. But we're not done, because even if you understand pain, there is something far more dangerous that controls most people without them realizing it. Something subtle, invisible, and destructive. And once you see it, you will never be manipulated again. Stay with me, because the next rule is where you begin to separate from everyone else. Most people are not controlled by life. They are controlled by opinions, invisible chains, everywhere. What people think of you, what they say about you, how they react to you. And without realizing it, you start living for them. You adjust your behavior, filter your words, shrink your truth, all to avoid judgment. But here's the uncomfortable reality. The moment you need approval, you lose power. Because now your emotions are no longer yours. They belong to the crowd. One compliment can lift you. One insult can destroy you. That is not strength. That is dependency. The Stoic cuts this chain completely. Not by becoming cold, but by becoming independent. He understands something most people refuse to accept. People's opinions are reflections of their own mind, not your reality. Someone calls you weak. It says more about their perception than your truth. Someone doubts you. It reveals their limits, not yours. Yet most people absorb these opinions like poison. They carry them, replay them, let them shape their identity, and slowly, they become smaller. This is the third rule. Detach from external validation, because the more you need it, the easier you are to control. Think about it carefully. If someone can influence your mood with a few words, they control you. If someone's approval determines your confidence, they own you. And ownership of your mind is the most dangerous thing you can give away. The Stoic refuses this. He listens, but does not absorb. He observes, but does not react. There is a space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your freedom. But here's where it gets deeper. Detachment is not ignoring people. It is understanding them without being ruled by them. You can hear criticism and remain steady. You can face rejection and remain unchanged. You can stand alone without feeling empty. That is emotional independence. And once you reach that state, something powerful happens. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You stop chasing. And for the first time, you begin to act from truth, not fear. But most people will never reach this level because they are addicted to being liked. And addiction always leads to weakness. So ask yourself honestly, are you living your life? Or are you living a version of it that others will accept? That question alone can change everything. But we're going further, because even if you detach from opinions, there is still one force that can destroy your peace faster than anything else. A force that lives inside you. It whispers. It rushes you. It makes you react before you think. And if you don't control it, it will control your entire life. Stay with me, because the next rule is where true mastery begins. That force is impulse. It's the voice that tells you to react immediately, to speak when you're angry, to act when you're emotional, to decide when you're not clear. And most people obey it without question. That's why they regret what they say. That's why they destroy opportunities. That's why they lose control in moments that matter most, because they never learned to pause. The Stoic understands something critical. Your first reaction is not who you are. It is conditioning. It is habit. It is emotion without discipline. And if you act on it instantly, you become a slave to it. This is the fourth rule. Create space between feeling and action, because in that space, you take back control. Think about how powerful that is. Someone disrespects you. Instead of reacting, you pause. Something goes wrong. Instead of panicking, you breathe, and opportunity appears. Instead of rushing, you assess. That pause changes everything. It turns chaos into clarity, emotion into strategy, reaction into control. But here's the hard truth. Pausing feels unnatural at first, because you've trained your mind to respond instantly, to defend, to prove, to react. So when you start holding back, it feels like weakness. But it's the opposite. It's restraint. And restraint is one of the highest forms of strength. Anyone can react. Very few can remain still. Very few can sit in the heat of the moment and choose not to move. That is power. And once you master this, people will notice something different about you. You won't be easily provoked. You won't be easily shaken. You won't be predictable. And unpredictability creates presence. It makes people think twice before testing you, because they can't read you. They can't control you. Now understand this. Every time you pause instead of reacting, you weaken the hold of impulse. And every time you give in, you strengthen it. So this is a daily battle, moment by moment, choice by choice. You are either training control or reinforcing chaos. There is no neutral ground. But even if you master your reactions, there is still something deeper. Something that quietly destroys people over time. Not in a moment, but slowly. It drains their energy, clouds their thinking, keeps them stuck in the past. And most don't even realize it's happening. If you don't eliminate it, emotional strength will never be complete. Stay focused, because the next rule will remove a weight you didn't even know you were carrying. That weight is resentment. It doesn't explode like anger. It lingers, quiet, persistent, heavy. You replay what they did, what they said, how they wronged you, again, and again, and again, and each time, you feel it all over. The anger, the frustration, the injustice. You think you're holding on to it because it matters. But the truth is, it's holding on to you. Resentment is a slow poison. It doesn't hurt the other person. It drains you, your focus, your energy, your clarity. And the worst part, it keeps you tied to something that's already over. The Stoic sees this clearly. He understands that holding on to resentment is choosing to suffer voluntarily. This is the fifth rule. Release what no longer serves you, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Understand the difference. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. It's saying, I refuse to carry this anymore. Because every moment you hold on to resentment, you give the past control over your present. And a man who lives in the past cannot dominate his future. Think about how much mental space you've lost, holding on to things you cannot change, arguments that are over, situations that are gone, people who are no longer there, yet they still live in your mind, rent-free. That is not strength, that is attachment. And attachment creates vulnerability, because anything you're attached to can disturb you. The Stoic removes this vulnerability. He lets go, not instantly, not perfectly, but intentionally. Each time the memory comes back, he observes it and releases it again. No reaction, no replay, no emotional investment. Over time, it fades, and in its place, something powerful emerges. Clarity. Your mind becomes lighter, sharper, more focused on what actually matters. And that's when you realize, peace was never about controlling the world. It was about controlling what you carry inside. But there's still one more layer. Because even if you let go of resentment, there is a deeper illusion that traps most people in constant dissatisfaction. An illusion that keeps them chasing, never arriving. And until you break it, you will never feel complete. Stay with me, because the next rule will change how you see success, happiness, and your entire life. That illusion is the belief that something outside you will finally complete you. More money, more status, more recognition, more validation. You tell yourself, when I get there, then I'll be at peace. But there keeps moving. You reach one level and immediately create another. You achieve one goal and feel empty again, so you chase more. And without realizing it, you become trapped in a cycle that never ends. This is why so many people look successful on the outside, but feel restless on the inside, because they built everything except control over themselves. The Stoic rejects this illusion. He understands a truth most people avoid. If you cannot be content with little, you will never be content with much. This is the sixth rule. Detach your peace from outcomes. Because the moment your happiness depends on results, you become fragile. If things go your way, you feel good. If they don't, you collapse. That is not stability. That is dependence. Real strength is different. You work hard. You pursue goals. You build your life, but your internal state remains steady. Win or lose, you remain the same. Gain or lose, you remain the same. Not because you don't care, but because you've trained your mind not to be controlled by results. This is where most people misunderstand Stoicism. They think it means not wanting anything. That's wrong. It means wanting without needing. There's a difference. When you need something, it owns you. When you want something, you pursue it with clarity. No desperation, no emotional dependence, no fear of loss. And that changes how you move. You become calm under pressure, focused under uncertainty, disciplined without emotional swings, because your identity is no longer tied to outcomes. It's tied to who you are, and that is unshakable. Now think about it. How many times have you delayed your peace, waiting for something external to happen? A promotion, approval, success. You've been negotiating with your own mind. I'll be calm when life goes my way. But life doesn't work like that. It never has, and it never will. So the Stoic flips the equation. He becomes calm first, and then faces life from that state. That is control, but we're not finished. Because even if you detach from outcomes, there is still one final barrier. A silent weakness that destroys consistency. That breaks discipline. That keeps people starting, but never finishing. And if you don't eliminate it, everything you've learned so far will collapse under pressure. Stay until the end, because the next rule is where transformation becomes permanent. One day, everything ends, not as a concept, not as a distant idea, but as a certainty. Your plans, your struggles, your achievements, your name, all of it will disappear. And most people avoid this truth. They distract themselves. They deny it. They live as if time is unlimited. But that's why they waste it. The Stoic does the opposite. He faces it directly, and not with fear, but with clarity. Because when you truly understand that your time is limited, something changes. The small things lose their weight. Petty arguments, other people's opinions, temporary failures. They no longer matter the same way. This is the eighth rule. Remember your mortality, not to become negative, but to become focused. Because death removes illusion. It forces you to ask the only questions that matter. What am I doing with my time? What actually matters? What am I becoming? And suddenly, your standards rise. You stop tolerating distractions. You stop delaying action. You stop living half-heartedly, because you realize there is no later, there is only now, and this moment will never return. Think about that carefully. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many opportunities have you delayed because you assumed you had more time? That assumption is the greatest risk, because time is the one thing you never get back. The Stoic uses this awareness as fuel, not panic, but precision. He moves with intention, speaks with purpose, acts with clarity, because he understands that every action could be his last. And that level of awareness creates a different kind of man. One who is not easily distracted, not easily shaken, not easily controlled, because he has already accepted the one thing everyone fears, the end. And when you accept that, fear loses its grip. You stop worrying about what could go wrong, Because you understand that everything eventually ends anyway. So instead of hesitating, you act. Instead of fearing judgment, you move. Instead of waiting, you begin. That is freedom. Now listen carefully. You've just gone through principles most people will never apply. Control, awareness, detachment, discipline, acceptance. But knowledge alone changes nothing. If you close this video and go back to your old patterns, then none of this matters. So here's the final decision. You either remain who you were, or you become someone new. Not gradually, not someday. Now, if you've made it this far, it means something. It means a part of you is ready. So prove it. Apply one principle today, just one, and then repeat it tomorrow. That's how transformation begins. If this shifted your perspective, subscribe and stay close, because what you've started here, we're taken further. And remember, the storm was never the problem. It was the mind facing it. Become unshakable, and nothing can break you.